Yeah.
Gonna do your thing, man. It's
Welcome.
brethren. Welcome to
the
this
Sesh.
Sesh. It's
Good
the
to have
best. No, what's good, man? What's good, man? We up in here. We in live in this thing. It's a Sunday. Following that March Madness thing. Blessings to everybody. Hope everybody out there is
Doing
in good,
well, doing good.
good health and enjoying the games. So, what you want to dive into first, my guy? You know, let's properly do this. I'm there. You know this guy.
This is Mr. Mastiff.
As we always do, we like for y'all to hit that like and subscribe.
Please
as
do.
always, hit that like, hit that
Click
subscribe,
tap and log in.
fuck with your boys if you like what we talk about. But anywho, man, what you trying to get into, man?
It's March. Let's keep it with the madness. Jump that off real quick. We ain't got to spend too much time because it's still a lot more b-ball to be played. But coming into the round of 32, we was talking about just before we got on. It's not really, I agree with you. It's not really upsets. It's a lot of parity going on. So a lot of these quote unquote smaller schools, supposedly lacking the resources and the opportunities, they out here balling. They take
For sure. They got coaching, man. Coaching in basketball, man. I always say makes a difference, man. Makes a difference. Coach got to know how to use them timeouts. Coach got to know how to put them chess pieces on the board right, and then players got to know how to execute the vision.
Yes, they do.
That's the biggest thing of it, man. But what you think about the Duke Tennessee matchup? Florida Atlantic and then Fairleigh Dickinson.
That was
those two teams, I guess you would consider them upsets from where they're coming from. But man, they're making a hell of a case for why March Madness is one of the greatest sporting times of the year, man, because it's just so many unpredictable things that happen. You see so many guys that know that this might be their last time to ball out, so they leave it all out there, man, and that's what you want to see as a fan of sport.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's a lot of deep camaraderie.
For sure.
A lot of, like you said, 2 and 3 year athletes that are kind of on their way out. Their school collegiate careers are coming to an end. But man, they out there balling. You know what I'm saying? They bring in the brotherhood. They bring in the fire. I think that they, like you said, the coaching is a big part of it. There's a lot of up and coming coaches all through the NCAA. So
for sure,
that's good to see.
Yeah,
but they're putting it together at the right time, man.
You get to experience what's happening with it. You get to experience the rise of players and sometimes the rise of coaches. So it's just an experience that ultimately all the way around is for the fan. Again, it should be pleasurable. You get to know some of these people, man. I like to see Duke go down, so I was happy to see them lose.
As always.
Call me a Duke hater or whatever you like, but Rick Barnes doing what Texas should have never let Rick Barnes go. I'm not even sure if my team won yesterday against Penn State. I believe we did, but I was out at shout out to the event I was at. You know what I'm saying?
That was a good game too. They took it to him.
Yeah, man. I feel like I'm not trying to jinx my squad. You know what I mean? I feel like we play in the toughest conference in America. Kansas lost yesterday. But there's several Big 12 teams still in it.
K-State is balling. Yeah.
I don't know Baylor. I forgot the score. They might have been down or up. But I mean, there's several quality Big 12 teams. West Virginia might have got knocked out yesterday. But with that all being said, I think Texas came out of the toughest conference, man. They're deep enough. They got enough guys that are experienced. You know what I mean? And so that type of stuff matters, man. So hook 'em horns. Let's get a big time win, man. Let's do something different. Let's keep moving on.
Keep it going.
Trying to, man.
I don't want to spend too much time, and like I said, in the March Madness, we just wanted to give it homage because it's out and it's rolling. That's what's going on. It's hot. Man, I want to talk. Did y'all see the
8 games? 8 games. 8 games. 8 games. 8 games.
8 games.
8 games. He can play tomorrow if he wanted to. Because they gave him back. They gave him time served.
6 that he already.
They gave him time served for 6 of the games.
Well, did you see what he was talking about? What he asked? Was it his gun?
Man, there's 2 things about that, man. I thought Jalen Rose was super unethical by asking the question.
I don't like Jalen Rose.
He said, I don't like Jalen Rose. I ain't gonna get on Jalen Rose like that because I like Jalen Rose, but I felt like that was one of them corporation questions. Like, you get this interview, but you're gonna ask this type of question to him. I like the way Ja answered that question. And a lot of people don't understand that answer is because it's not Ja's job to get up on here national TV and tell ESPN who owns what, right? Like that's ESPN's job to do. Pay their investigative journalists to go find out who owned that gun. It just is a lot of journalism. Journalism, man, is because of the social media stuff is getting blend.
Yeah, it's smart journalism out there. But
You
to
know,
me, I mean, he flat out, just lied. Talking about that's not me, it's not. Yeah, it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what you've been presenting all over the place. Yeah, it is.
he said, "Yeah, it
That's
is."
what you're trying to be. Because all the images I done seen the cat and some of the the text with the post that he put up. Yeah, it is.
I think I think you got to be careful. Yeah, I think you got to be careful what you put out there. And I think with Jaws thing, I don't know if it is him. I don't know if it's not him. But I believe that Ja put himself in a position where people could judge.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And so when you put yourself in that position where you can be judged, bro, it becomes a whole different box that you're trying to live within. Here you go, G. So I think for Ja, he realized that there's a bag out there, right?
Yeah, now that part I do. But I was gonna say I do believe that part of it when he said now that they all realizing what the hell they got to lose.
Yeah.
I bet you do.
Yeah, I think that's the truth of it.
You can't be out here doing literally whatever you want to do.
But I think the NBA creates a false narrative for a lot of these young superstars that come in this league. They got a lot of money, they're young, they're successful, and there's never really any repercussion for their actions on or off the court most times. So you see a lot of these guys do outlandish things or questionable things, and you're saying, man, I wonder why he got away with that or why he would do that. And it just be the NBA. Man, as much great things Adam Silver has done, he has no backbone, bro.
Well, and that's why, and you guys stay tuned for this too, coming up here in the next couple of weeks of shows that we're going to do. But we want to dive into that a little bit, the quote unquote black athlete in professional sports. Let's weigh the pros and the cons of it, just the long terms of what's going on, not just for the physical aspect of it, but really for the, the mental, the social aspect, the youth and the money that's being spent on certain things and the lifestyles that are being lived. Like, is that?
And Tom Brady got $350 million, and he's never accomplished half of the shit Kenny, Charles, and Shaq have accomplished as an analyst.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see him offering that type of money.
Yeah, but that's what happened also too. Now, I ain't even trying to say this in Tom's defense or whatever, but that's what happens when you build your brand. He's got a brand that's worth that to somebody at this point. Whereas when they were coming into it, they didn't have that.
For sure, but they've built their brand. They've built their brand.
Pundits coming in and adding on.
They built their brand.
Ernie was saying
they built their brand.
Yeah, they did. They built that collectively over time.
TNT wasn't Emmy nominated.
To them coming in and doing what they was doing, it's not comparative.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying TNT wasn't Emmy nominated. Turner Sports wasn't at the level of where it's at today.
I'm not even talking about just where the level of the broadcasting network was. I'm talking about the athlete. Tom Brady coming into broadcasting is bringing a brand. We bring a TB12. It's not even recognized.
What is TB12?
With them, just an athlete sitting.
What is TB12?
On stage, huh?
What is TB12? Tom Brady 12?
I don't know. I guess it's nutrition and I guess a bunch of other shit. I'm not sure.
Man, y'all hit that like and subscribe button and let us know what TB12 is. I'm curious, because I hear so much about this Tom Brady and his branding and what he brings in. But I mean,
because I know he had other teammates on.
I mean, everybody can bring in something, but you can't make me be vegan. You know what I'm saying? You can't make me be something else. So I just think, like, a lot of people, man, they don't realize some of the things that are out there for them and some of the things that aren't out there for them. You know what I'm saying? So it just be odd how things work out for me.
Well, I was just thinking as far as about branding. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
That's a whole different other conversation. But
no, I'm just saying, like, with the branding of it, like y'all saying it's just nutrition or whatever. And I'm like, hell, I don't know. Shit, they just how you brand nutrition into analyst job talking about football. I don't see the parallels. You're saying pundit. To me, you look like the same pundit that would be helping whoever you're sitting next to. Aikman's on the side of Joe Buck. Joe Buck's an established name.
But again, established name throughout time. That's what I'm talking about. I agree with you that he's not on the level of some of the other people you're talking about. But they willing to pay him that bread, and it's
Oh, yeah,
because
hey.
of the branding. It's his name.
Yeah, I feel
It's
you.
not necessarily. Yeah, I agree with you. He ain't gonna sit there talking about nutrition.
Hell no, he ain't
You know,
get
the whole time
He
in
is
some
not
avocados movies.
What was the dude
But
the back in the day used to wear the
it's what he known
headband?
for, huh?
Richard Simmons, was that his name?
Oh
Yeah, he ain't no Richard Simmons or nothing like that.
yeah.
Y'all stop that. Y'all stop that, man.
Nah,
It's just
I
Tom
think it's
Brady,
just the
man.
Tom Brady
He threw
following
some
overall
footballs.
is what
He
they pay him
did
for.
that. You know, he won some Super Bowls. He won some questionably, but whatever. What? He did.
He did.
He did win some questionably, man.
He did.
I mean,
All right, what's
I
next
know.
up? What you want to jump into next?
Man, it's whatever. It's
It's
whatever. It's whatever y'all want to get into, man. Today is a freestyle day, man. We can get back into the league. The Suns play the Thunder today. The Thunder's got them buckets on them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my clone. He went to the game today. He was giving me the update. So, AKA, that's Bear. Bear. He in the house with us tonight. So he went to the Thunder game today. He said Shea gave the Suns some buckets, but Devin gave us 47. But he had to take that L. He said Lou Dort broke a nose or two. So, you know,
where they at in the
they in the play-in race. So it's great to see a young team playing hard. He said Isaiah Joe hit some deep threes, maybe one or two. Can't really remember off the top. But man, it's great to see, man, the Thunder play hard every night. Lakers are still trying to fight. They own you know, AD's ass, man. They own AD's ass. Yeah, we got some guests today that are unhappy with.
Yeah, that's my dog over here.
What?
Trying to snore and be heard.
I
was asking because I was just, you know, it's coming down the stretch, so I was kind of
man. Boston's really been struggling here late. You know what I'm saying? They've lost some games that they should against teams they probably shouldn't have lost to. I think they lost to Houston just here recently in a nail biter. But Houston's been looking good. Jabari Smith Jr. Houston.
Yeah, they're supposed to be tanking.
I think they got new ownership. It's late in the season. They only won 15. They're under 20 games, so they're in position. I mean, a few more games won't hurt them. But I just think Houston trying to build something, you know, for the long haul, trying to get underneath them numbers, salary cap. You're just paying Harden and a bunch of those other guys. NBA, that money's so funny.
A lot of bad contracts.
Yeah, you know what I mean? You finally shedded Eric Gordon, John Wall. We had Russell, you know what I'm saying? Like you Melo for a minute. You know, so they don't telling who was still on the books getting paid. You know, some players be on the books getting paid and they be 12 years out the league, man. You know what I'm saying? I believe the Thunder play 3-4 players that ain't even in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? Good side. Kyle Singler, he might still be on the Thunder books. Type it. You know what I'm saying? So it just Bobby Bonilla made a whole lifestyle out of it, man.
Yeah, he's still getting paid.
Bobby Bonilla day, huh? The Mets try to set up. Man, that was the smartest deal that man ever took. He's 70 years old, man, cashing $1 million every 4th of July, bro.
AI is the coldest, though.
I don't know, man. Every July 1st, Bobby Bonilla get a lump sum of money, man.
He get a meal, though. It's $1 million.
But think about that, to see that vision 25 years before. Bruh. Man, he took maybe 20, 15 million at a buyout and then said, okay, I'll take these payments over the next 20, 30 years of $1 million. Come on, man. That's dirty, right?
$30 million a year from Reebok. I think that's coming to an end. I think it's like 25 years. But when it comes to an end, then he get a $55 million lump. Yeah. So he been getting all this bread from Reebok all this time for some shoes that was hot back then. And then he banked on it because he didn't get shit up front. That's why they did it. But that's what I'm saying. That's the coldest. I think that's the coldest deal.
I mean, I don't know, man.
Paid for a minute.
We're talking about a guy that did this before AI.
Yeah, that's true.
Huh? We're talking about a guy that did it before AI, bro. We're saying it's just $1 million now. Now think about this has been going on 20 years before we're talking. Bobby Bonilla been getting paid since 90s, bro. Mm-hmm. Since the 90s. On July 1st, $1 million. AI wasn't even in the league when Bobby Bonilla got his first check, bro. You hear what I'm saying? And if he just play it right,
just leave it, yeah.
Take half of it, and put it up every year. Just leave. You know what I'm saying? Live on 500,000. Put the other 500 up.
Yeah, man.
I don't know. I'm getting excited talking about this shit. I'm getting excited talking about this shit because I mean, I just said,
it'd be
bro,
amazing. Like you said, you've been out of playing or doing something
you
for that
ain't
long, and it's still paying you.
you ain't been playing baseball for damn near 30 years, man, and baseball still writing you checks.
Still
like you a veteran player.
Mm-hmm.
See, in the NBA, that might be minimum salary for a veteran player.
Shit, it's more than that. I think.
It might be $5 million.
2.5, I think.
It might be. Yeah, it ain't much. But yeah, man. It just another thing, man. Play baseball. Baseball is a great sport for people to play. It's
get that long
especially
money.
for us African Americans. We need more African Americans in the game. We're not represented in that game as well as we should be. There's so many trials and tribulations that these young African American kids face for playing the game that I love to see them do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I need to get myself out there and support young African American kids playing baseball more myself. But you know, that's just the thing, man. I'm hoping hurry up and spring on up in here in this thing. So me and my son can get out there and throw the baseball, F around a little bit, you know, go to these parks. Last year, we went to the park almost every damn night, shot some hoops. So we got, you know, down in Silvertail, they got everything kind of open now. So they got some fields that I'm going to go over there and we're going to throw some footballs, throw some baseball, just work his arm out, work him out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do the stuff that I know that he like doing. So, you know, plus it's good father-son time, you know what I'm saying?
Did you check out the
you gentlemen is more than welcome
classic.
to bring your children and just F out when we go too as well.
Big horses. All they want to do is eat something.
Yeah, I can already dig it. Yeah.
If I can get them to show up.
Yeah, my son is all for eating as well, you know what I mean? But he's also for outside activities. You know what I'm saying? He like his outside activities. So I try to, you know, help in that way as much as I can.
Did you check out the
World
Classic?
Man, we've been following that as we was coming up here. We were talking about that plan, but yeah, man, I've been between March Madness and the World Classic, man. I've been trying to keep up with the stuff, man. I kind of like this World Classic thing, man. But you know, I like baseball. I like the game. I wish I would have played more in high school. I was too.
I like to watch it live, huh?
Man, playing the game is fun, man. I
watch it on TV.
I hate going to my son's games. Not that I hate going because I feel like I make him nervous. You know what I mean? He don't just play. So when I don't go, it's like he be knocking the ball out the park. He be striking cats out. But when I go, I think I just make him uptight. Like I'm gonna be yelling and shit. And that's not what it's about. You know what I mean? I just yell because I want him to do good or focus or, you know, just be who he is. And that created extra pressure. So, you know, man. But yeah, like I had to stop going to his basketball games. They try to kick me out the game, bro. You know, at the basketball game, you know, because I was telling him to get strong. You know what I'm saying? Because he not it's not like he's super tall right now, but he taller. But he got good strength to him. You know what I mean? But he won't always use it. You know what I'm saying? He's a good person deep down inside. So I be trying to get him to bull people over. You know what I mean? Use his strength, push, lean. You know what I'm saying? Just use it in a positive way, athletically. And you know, when he get fed up every once in a while, he'll sling a little kid around. And the ref call foul, he'll look over at me and I'll be flexing this type shit. You know, I'll be like, yeah, that's what we talking about. Yeah, that's how you do it. You know, not in the negative. But, you know, sometimes that physicality, it imposes a type of presence on the opposing team that says, okay, maybe we're not this mentally aggressive about this. You know what I mean? And it create maybe a disadvantage for the opposing team, for my son's team, right? So that's the way I think. I used to try to impose my will on others when I played, physically or mentally.
Competition goes a lot of ways, though. It goes a lot of ways.
Yeah, if you could get juiced up with me, that's even better.
NBA start firing up too.
This NBA it's ready, man. This NBA is ready, man.
Next level of
this, and this is what we're getting alluding to, man. This NBA is ready, G.
Well, that's why I was asking about the Thunder, because I was kind of wanting to see who they would kind of match up with.
Man, they haven't really showed it too many brackets.
Like 10 games left?
Yeah, but see, there's so much fluidity to this Western Conference because everybody's so lumped in there by X amount of games. I don't think it's kind of hard. It's going to go down to the last week of who's who, where's where, except for like, you know, your top maybe 1, 2, 3 seeds, Memphis, Nuggets, and Suns. You know, they locked in.
So right now, who down in the play-in? The Thunder,
Lakers, Thunders, maybe Pelicans. Barry, you know who else is in the play-in? Who's in the play-in tournament?
As of right now,
Clippers are top 4. They're in the play in the playoffs here. We got Nuggets, Grizzlies, Clippers,
The Suns,
Warriors is fifth.
Suns, Warriors.
Warriors is fifth. Suns, we didn't say Suns. So they go your top five. So then you're gonna start talking about the Lakers. Oh fuck. Your six top Kings, because the Kings are the top
Kings,
three.
yeah.
Top, so there go six
Second.
teams right there. Brooklyn's on that West Conference. Then you're gonna start talking about your Lakers, Thunders, Pelicans, Utah, but they tanking. Minnesota's, you know what I mean?
That's Minnesota. That's what.
Yeah, man. Come on now. I'm like an encyclopedia when it comes to these teams with this. Boy,
That's a good little mix in there.
spitting them off, ain't I? I might Portland's, but they tanking, you know what I'm saying? What you want from me? I think I named everybody in the West. I named the Clippers, I named the Warriors, I named the Lakers, I named the Kings. That's all the LA's teams.
And then who's the mix in the East?
Oh man, you got Philly, you got Boston, and Philly, Milwaukee. That's my team. Giannis, that's my team. That's who's gonna win this chip, man. They healthy, they getting healthy. Giannis ready to come do his thing. No.
Yeah, then the Cavs.
And then you got Boston, then you got Philadelphia, then you got the Cavaliers, and then you got Miami in there maybe. Then you got maybe the Knicks up in there.
Toronto.
I don't know where the Raptors are exactly record-wise, but they probably up in there. Then Pacers. I don't know about the Magic. They probably tanking and looking shitty. The Nets. I don't know exactly their schedule, but they up in there. So I think you got a lot of different teams that's jockeying for a lot of different positions and seedings, and so it's gonna be interesting, man. XFL's been on and popping, man. There's been a few good games at XFL that I've caught, so that's been 1,000.
Yeah, it's been a hot seed in the sports world, y'all. It's been a hot seed.
I hope everybody keeping up, following it, man. Keep trying to follow it, man. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. I ain't gonna say it again.
As always. Anything else you want to jump into, man?
Man, we get into this World Baseball Classic. I haven't really followed a lot of it, but I like the ball, man. But it's whatever, man. I love it. My Cowboys, man. Matter of fact, my Dallas Duncan Cowboys. They got Brandon Cooks today. They made a trade. They got Stephon Gilmore last week. So Jerry,
about what Smith said about Zeke, them letting Zeke go.
Emmitt Smith. I felt like he was reminiscing. It felt like when Jerry let him go and he went to Arizona. You know what I'm saying? Which it's hard, man. I can only imagine, bro.
I thought he was in his fields a little bit.
Well, this is what I'll say, man. I can't. Zeke's done people say Zeke didn't perform to the contract, right? And I'm like, why would the Cowboys even give Zeke the contract that he wanted?
I think that first season he did because the NFL didn't know about it, but it's easy to do that. But for what other things that he brought to the table, I understand him letting go. I mean, I ain't arguing against that shit.
I don't know. I mean,
the situation that they're in right now,
it wasn't smart. It wasn't smart business. It didn't seem like smart business with Tony Pollard coming off a broken leg. Malik Davis looked good. Maybe you're gonna get a running back in the draft. Maybe you're not. I don't know, right? But I need the Cowboys to get playmakers. The Eagles, they losing people. Darius Slay, they cut. They losing defensive line. So shit. There's some teams out there, man. The NFL free agency's kind of been kind of quiet because of March Madness and shit. But man, there's the NFL's gonna look different. There's a lot of talk about DeAndre Hopkins moving this offseason. So before the season starts, keep your eyes on the lookout for D-Hop to be maybe on a different team, man. This draft is really when the draft happens. Yeah, you're gonna see trades. The NFL gonna be the hot topic because now those trades are gonna come reality. But I'd imagine a lot of players are gonna be traded, man. Gonna be moved. Darren Waller got traded. The Giants. The Giants just picked up Darren Waller. So I'm like, that was a smart move by them. That was smart.
They made the smart move that they needed.
I think the Cowboys are trying to keep Leighton Vander Esch, the linebacker, which I would think would be a smart move. He proved himself when he's healthy. He can be impactful player.
They need to share a little bit more to get a little bit more. The Cowboys, I think.
Man, we gotta stop giving up these draft picks. We can't. I mean, these fifth and these sixth is cool, but you can still get a decent player with a fifth pick. So at a low cost. that can be a starter at a low cost. So I mean, you just got to keep scouting and do your homework and watch ball, man. You got to watch ball to see who's a ball player. You can't, you know what I'm saying, put a guy out in the field and just let him run and jump and throw and think that he'll be able to understand how to be a ball player, because being a ball player is about leading. You know what I'm saying? You got to be a leader first and foremost.
Want to see what A-Rod gonna do?
A-Rod, man, I'm gonna tell you like this: the Packers want everything under the sun for A-Rod, but the Jets like, he washed up, Joe. Would you want me to give you 3 first round? See, the Packers is trying to get that 13th pick. See, the Jets hold the 13th pick. The Packers get the 13th pick. I believe they have another maybe offensive player they have in mind. Maybe. You know what I'm saying? But with all of it being said, man, it's a lot of jostling going. That's why I said the draft is going to be really, really important for things like that. I think that Rodgers deal gets made next month. I think around the draft, Green Bay, I wouldn't be surprised to be like an NBA type of deal, right? Where you see the Jets draft a player for the Packers, and then they make that exchange and with others. But man, I don't know, man. I've been thinking about
that before. I think like June 1st.
Yeah. He gonna be costing major cap for the Packers. And so, man, I don't know, man. I believe with what Aaron Rodgers is asking for, he might come in and just settle the
that's why I
locker room.
Brought it up, because some of the players that he's, quote unquote requesting to have come in there, yeah, they solid receivers, but they older, and some of the pieces that the Jets don't really need to be bringing in because they got a young core in certain areas. So that's kind of the only thing.
Just go 3 receivers deep right now. Garrett Wilson,
a bunch of shit and fuck up with your rotation.
Elijah Moore, and someone else I can't think of right now, but they 2-3 receivers deep right now. And so and I know they just signed Alan Lazard, but I think that's how you get guys unsettled. You know what I mean? You get guys unhappy, pissed off, angry with you, disconnected from winning. And so I think that's what happened in Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers got too full of himself, man. You know what I'm saying?
Too washed up.
Yeah, to be getting all these playoff games and not winning none, G. You got to win. You got to win the effing games, Joe. When it comes down to it, you at home, man. You done had guys play with injuries, sacrifice all type of shit. Man, you got to win. You got to execute them throws, man. You crying because you can only throw it to one damn receiver. Well, everybody in damn America know you want to throw it to damn Devontae Adams. Maybe you need to find the other guys on the team, but who am I? Shit, I can go me in the dark room and get in light and shit.
Well, shit, we can probably close it up with talking about Jackson. What you think is gonna happen with my boy, man? Because it looked like he kind of getting stonewalled throughout the NFL or something like that. I don't know. And the owner's gonna be smart, so they don't get hit with no conspirator case or whatever.
Yeah, Lamar Jackson screwed. Colin Cowherd said it last week. Colin Cowherd said had the report that came out with X amount of teams that didn't like Lamar Jackson, he said had Lamar Jackson been represented by an agent, those reports would have never came out, because those people would have been too afraid to offend all the other athletes that agent represents to make a report like that. But since it's his mother, they don't care. And so I think you notice this a lot because Lamar, see, what they don't tell you is Lamar Jackson isn't the only player in the NFL that has been represented by itself. The Chicago Bears traded Roquan Smith to the Ravens. Now, tell you how funny this story is. Guess who Roquan Smith is represented by? Himself. So the Ravens have already set a precedent of doing business
with an athlete that's represented by itself.
So the reason they won't give Lamar Jackson this money baffles me, because you don't win without Lamar Jackson.
Well, and I know that it's a player. I know that there are 2 players in a professional sport, and we're talking about them. But I think negotiating the star quarterback's contract, versus star linebackers is completely different. It's a lot more intricacy, like you mentioned, with the media and things get leaked out, and not because it's a precedent that has to be set when you're represented by an agent. That's a key point you brought up, because they're not just representing Lamar Jackson; they represent all these other cats in the NFL. So they're gonna be like, "Oh, what the hell y'all doing?" Like, I definitely ain't going to Baltimore. So yeah, Baltimore's not gonna have that spread. So he's doing himself a real disservice.
He is.
the longer I think this drags out because it's just not. I think throughout the league, the owners, I don't think the owners are colluding against him to kind of just.
I do. I
ice
think
him
they
out.
are.
Nah, they're mocking him because he's not represented by an agent. Like he don't have no leverage. He has leverage, but he doesn't have leverage.
And
the
Las Vegas Raiders are stupid. The New York Jets are stupid. Their organizations are stupid. If they think the quarterbacks that they're signing or chasing are going to have better probability to take them further than fucking Lamar Jackson. Come on, man, get out of here. Get out of here. Aaron Rodgers in the last 3 years has won as many playoff games as Lamar Jackson.
It's NFL. They don't give a shit. Look at that man I got hanging on my wall over there. It's the same shit. They don't give a shit. They will sit and not win to spite a player. You know, that's standing on a stance like this of having keeping representation within his family. I'm not knocking his desire to have it done. If his mom pop out to have some sort of degree in business or management or something like that, gives me the foundation to do it. But the fact that this is kind of happening this way kind of tells me that she doesn't. It's just something because that's my mom, and she probably is a sharp lady. I'm not discounting what this sister's got going on, but it's a reason why. Because you're right, there have been in the past people that have represented themselves.
So there's been a long history of it.
Family members that's doing stuff, and it's going fine. I mean, look at LeBron and Maverick Carter. You know, he brought him up and got him to a point like your ass got to go to school.
Yeah.
And then you come back and then we'll flip this shit. But I think that's what it is, bro. I think that they mocking him. I think that
I don't know who
are worth all this motherfucking money, but you being an asshole and not having a proper representation, so we don't really have to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? Like she's not probably even registered through the league to be represented. It's probably just counseling that she's getting.
Right.
Bro, that's a lot of paperwork.
You're right. You're right.
And licensing agreements and everything in the league that you got to be competent to read through and go ahead and have him sign. So I think they mocking him, man.
I don't doubt that they're not mocking him, but at the same time, I can't sit here and say I know Lamar Jackson's mother's last name. Lamar Jackson's mother's first name, her job history, her education. So the first thing I'm not going to do as a man is sit up here and act like she's incapable of doing her job because she was so capable of getting her son to go to Louisville, become a Heisman finalist, to never stumble across this road that he's on. And if this is the thank you that you get for raising proper men, then I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, I don't know. It's a bad look for the NFL. It's just a bad look.
They don't give a shit though.
If they care but they say they care about women, they care about domestic abuse, they care about all these other subjects that women go through, but
they don't give a shit. That's why they're so upset at the fucking Cleveland Browns, man.
Yeah,
they're giving up a record contract to
Cleveland. Got to rework that thing.
So much just the contract itself and the total guarantee. That is a big part of it, but it's what Deshaun Watson was going through.
Yeah, facts.
Them owners were sitting back like, you motherfucker, like we don't do that shit. And it's a guaranteed thing that sets a precedent throughout the league.
Well, that's
like,
the Jimmy. That's their homie thing. That's their homie, right? Like the owners have problems with other owners. Y'all take that out on other owners. Don't draw players into y'all's tidbits.
And then be changing, you know, put a whole ripple through
because that's ultimately what this comes down to. You know, like you said, the Deshaun Watson contract. The Deshaun Watson contract's being reworked. Get over it. Get over it, people.
They had to.
But you know,
they had to, and then they said they're still making it worse. But
this is the Sesh.
This is the Sesh. Peace.
Fuck with us.
And at all times until the next time. Welcome.
Welcome, my brother. Go home and love your kids. Eat good. You hear me? No, man. Y'all have a good evening, man. Stay blessed. Peace. Have a great Monday. You know what it is.